on blue, just click in the blue button. And now we are on live on YouTube. So hello people from YouTube, is one more immersion today, and I'd like to start saying, as always, that TNT is a conversation platform for all levels, be it intermediate and advanced English, but it's not a class. I'm not a teacher. I'm a host student, so I'm here to learn with you guys. Today we are five, so I believe it's not necessary to split the rooms. If one more people are coming, I split the rooms, but five, I believe everybody together. I don't know everybody, so it's a best moment to know everybody here. And I believe the last thing to remember is please don't correct anyone. He is a safe place. I want to make my mistakes. So please, guys, don't correct anyone. And let's begin the conversation, guys. So, Victoria, can you read and answer the first one?
Okay. What motivated you to start learning a new language? In my case, I only study English, and it's been some years since I started studying it and learning. And why is because it's the most important language, nothing special. I love the language also, but it's the important for to start a job, an international job, and maybe live abroad someday in another country, an English speaking country. And that's it. There's nothing special, uh nothing the reason special that I started learning English.
I believe this reason it's enough. It's special. Like it's your purpose. So, you
Yeah,
know.
because it's necessary. There are some other language that I would like to study in the future, but not for job purposes or this kind of things, just for hobby or because I like the language.
Yes, of
Mhm.
course. So, Maria, what about you? Question number one.
I think the thing that motivated most to start studying English is because I can understand. I have a good level of reading and understanding what other people are writing and speaking, but uh, I think I have a lot of trouble when I need to speak. And since I am unemployed, I think these could open doors for me to try to have a job opportunity in, I don't know, another country speaking English. I get really nervous when I have to speak another language, and I think practicing this can could make me, I don't know, a little more relaxed, and could help me a lot.
Yeah, so I hope you feel relaxed here, okay? And don't be shy. I made a lot of mistakes, so feel free to make them too. So, Brene, your turn.
Um, well, I am kind of addicted to learning new things, you know. Um, when I have free time, I've always start learning a new thing in my job, for a hobby, practicing a new sport, you know. So sometimes it's hard because I have to stop and say to myself, well, you need focus, you know. In other case, you won't, you know, actually learn. So uh, languages are not different from this. I already started learning German, French, Spanish, English, all of these languages on Duolingo, and a lot of different things in my life. So I'm always searching for a new thing to learn, but now I am trying to focus on English.
Yeah, I believe it's interesting, always knowing something new. It's really interesting. So, what about you, Antonio?
So I'd like to say that my big motivation to get a good job or the reason, but it's because I like the journal, the process to learn the third language. I'm a curious person, so for me it's fun to learn a different language. Normally, I I study to watch movies in the original original audio, and for it for you- yeah, exactly. For entertainment.
Yeah, it's a purpose, I believe every purpose is a good reason, it's a good purpose. So let me see, guys. What motivate me to start learning a new language? I don't know. I have a problem, guys, because for me it's depend on the language, like English I learned when I was so new, and I never choose learn English, I just, okay, my fathers want me to learn, so I will learn it. It's just, I have to do it. It was like I have to. It's not okay, I want to. But nowadays I'm happy to it, like I have more opportunities. So I'm not saying that I don't like it. So I really like it. But I don't know. I really believe about the like other opportunities, like jobs or something like that. But now I'm trying to learn French just because it's beautiful. I don't have a good a good reason or something like that. Just because it's beautiful and I think, oh my God, that is so fancy and I want to do this. So that's the reason that I'm just learning a new language. So, Antonio, can you read and answer the number two?
Okay, how do you choose which language to learn? Uh, so the English, my case is it's similar here. I don't choose the to learn English. It's important, and I should learn English. But recently, the last week, decided to start to learn Italian because it's a beautiful language. And I start to listen a song with a music in Italian, and oh, it's beautiful. And I decided to start. But along my life, I had contact with different languages. I don't consider myself fluent in no one, but I had contact with French. Yeah, the pandemic I start, but I stop. I don't know nothing. And the high school, I had contact with Indonesian because yeah, I was curious to understand one and other word, and I studied for 1 month, but after I stopped, I remember just one or other word.
Yeah, but it's interesting. I believe I never seen a people talking that language before. Never. So, and I believe it's that be a hard one. I don't know. Maybe. Because Portuguese, and Portuguese is so difficult. When you see the grammar, no, it's awful. So I don't know about the other languages. Maybe it's not so difficult as I think that it is. So, Victoria, go ahead.
Well, I will copy the answer, the Antonio's answer about English as well, the same as you, because it's an important language. I could no, don't study it, but I know it's important and it's necessary, especially in IT career if I want an international job, and for other things. Everything's in English. That's the reason. And I want to study someday, not now because it's not my focus. I don't have time to it, but I would love to study Japanese and Korean. Japanese because I've always had contact with since I was a child. I watched a lot of animes, and I love how the Japanese language sounds. I think it's beautiful, and I also like some music. And Korean is the same. I love to dance Korean music, K-pop also. And I follow some artists that I'm fan. And I would love to understand what they are saying, not in English, but in their native language, Korean. I feel that I miss a lot when I don't know the language of the person that I like to follow and to meet, to learn more about them. So that's it. That's how I choose.
I don't know how to talk in English, but would you like to try Mandarin?
Mandarin? No, actually. If that as a hobby, no. Maybe for a job, I know it's important. It's a good language to learn, but it's not on my top list.
Yeah, you're talking about the
Mhm.
others one, and I was like, maybe it's kind of. I can be wrong, but it was my thought, you know.
Mhm. Yeah, it's Japanese is similar to Chinese Mandarin in Korea because of the alphabet. They have similar words, but I don't have any reason. I don't like the Mandarin language.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah. I don't know. For me, when the alphabet is different, it's really hard to think about it, you know, to think, oh my God, I want to learn that language. I'm feeling like a baby that don't know how to pronounce the word. Like, because when you are trying to speak in French, Italian, or something like that, we know the alphabet, you know. We know the design of but when you see another thing like totally different from us, for me, my mind just explodes. I don't know. My mind doesn't work well. So,
Yes,
Maria,
exactly.
yeah, you know, so different. So, Maria, what about you? Question number two.
Um, além da. Nossa, tá, peraí. Ah, como é que fala além da? Tipo, além de inglês, no caso, além da que eu tô fazendo aqui,
I don't know. Like maybe
Maybe
although I don't know, guys.
besides,
pois é.
maybe
Besides,
besides
isso.
English.
Boa, boa, besides. Um, I think besides English, that I started studying for professional reasons. I think I don't know. I already studied like uh, Dutch and Norwegian just because I think it's funny. I think it's fun to study languages that I don't know. I also studied in Duolingo, and when I was really, really, really young, I wanted to move to Norway. So it's always motives like that, like I really like that countries. Then I study for I don't know a semester that language, and then I stop. Most times I study anything other than English is it's like that. I have an interest in learning more about a country, and then I study for some time the language. I think that's it.
It's interesting. So, what about you, Brenner?
Um, I would say three main three main reasons to learn English. First of all, traveling, because a lot of countries speak English, and if you go to a country that you don't know the language, you can find out and discover what you're searching for in English, because a lot of people speak it. Second one, because of entertainment, like movies, TV shows, music. There are a lot of this type of entertainment and based on English, so I watched a lot of movies in English. So learning English, I can uh, just not just understand what they are saying, but always there is a joke, that in Portuguese doesn't make sense. So the second one, I would say that. And last but not least, just like Victoria said, because of my job. If I want to make more money, I need to know English so I can, find a job outside Brazil. That's it, I think.
Yeah, so Antonio, did you answer this question?
Yeah,
Okay, so I'm believe I'm the last one, right? Okay, so how do I choose which language to learn? I don't I don't choose. I just like I believe it's depend on the moment. I believe last year I was thought about going to Germany to try to work there, and of course I will learn German too. Like I believe it's in situations that I think that I have to learn something. There's a purpose, but I have to have the purpose before learn English. I'm not like this kind of person who are interested in learning English just because. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know because I'm trying to learn French just because it's beautiful. So yeah, guys, I don't know how to choose. I believe every reason is a reason to learn a language. I don't have a just one reason or something like, oh, I have to, like just specific thing or something like that. So Maria, can you read and answer the next one?
Is the fourth one, right? Okay. What are your favorite resources for language learning? I have to answer that one. Okay. Um, I'll use English as an example because I think it's the one that I have access to more uh, resources, I think. When studying English, I like to try to read books in English. And when I don't understand the meaning of a word, I like to. Como é que fala anotar? Não é bem annotate, como é que é? I like to, I don't know,
Paper.
get a little paper next to me and write that word, and then I search the meaning of the word. Um, I like to. I started watching movies with the subtitles in Portuguese, and then after watching a lot of time the same movie, I put the subtitles in English, and then after I try to watch without subtitles in the original audio in English. and I think that that kind of thing really helps. I like to search the lyrics to songs that I like in that language. I started learning English without even noticing I was learning English when I was a little kid. And uh, MTV, como é que fala? MTV, passava na TV no caso, and there was a lot of music videos of bands that I really liked, and then I opened like letrasmus.com and searched the translation of the lyrics. I think I like to. Gente, eu tô meio pouco neurônio hoje, desculpa, tá? Eu tô um pouco devagar. Mas I like to use the type of content I enjoy watching and consuming and apply the language I'm trying to learn to that content, you know? Like uh, some things that I don't know, that I already like, and then I try to uh, enjoy that thing in English. I think that's, I don't know, that's it.
Yeah, it's perfect. You said about series or seeing something with subtitles than without subtitles. I don't know the name of this, but there is an extension for Google Chrome that you can use with Netflix. I don't know the name, guys, sorry, but you can put the subtitle with two language. Like you're seeing Netflix and you put the subtitle in Portuguese and in English at the same time. So it's helping some people to learn. I don't know if it's really works because I never tried it before, but I hear some people talking about it. But I don't know the name. So I believe if you put in the Google like Netflix double subtitle extension will appear something like that. But it's a good one. I never try. If you try, guys, just let me know. So Victoria, your turn.
Well, nowadays can say that I don't use books and grammar a lot anymore. I've spent some years studying it, and currently I try to use English the most I can in my day. So I try to do everything I would do in Portuguese, I do it in English. So if I have to write down something, some notes to remember, um, something I've studied, example in my job, I have to search something on Google, it's always in English. If I have to write something, it's always in English. And I use YouTube a lot every day. It's my favorite social media. I use a lot to study and to entertainment. And if I have to do a course or search for something I don't know, I search for it in English. I think I can, how can I say, kill two birds in one stone because I'm practicing English and also learning something. And I use YouTube a lot. I think it's my favorite resource to study and learn language in English in that case. I love to watch something curious. For example, I want to learn something interesting about a country like Korea, for example. I love to watch interviews on the street where a guy on the street random stops a person and asks something so I can learn something new about the country, about the culture, and also practice to listen different pronunciations and learn new words. So I like to use English in the day like practically, I think in the practical way. And something I've been using for a month to improve my vocabulary because I don't know so many words. I think my vocabulary is reduced, I can say. I started to use Anki. I don't know if you ever heard about it. It's a note app to memorize new words. You learn a word and you put this on it's like a card. It's an app. You each card is a new word or expression or idiom you learn, and then you add these cards to a deck like baralho. And then every day, the app shows you those words you've put. So it keeps appearing to you every day or each 10 days. It depends on how difficult you rate that word. If you think the word is easy, it won't appear for you frequently. But if you choose, that word, I think it's hard to remember, then it will keep showing you every day and more times. And I think it's working for me. I've been using it for a month, and every word I learned, I didn't know the meaning. I search for the meaning, I add it to the app and keep practicing every day. I think it helps a lot to improve the vocabulary. That's
It's
it.
really interesting. So can you put the name on the chat?
Sure.
Because I will forget about it. So when it's in
Okay.
the chat, I can just return and see it
Uh-huh.
again. So
Sure. It's good.
thank you.
You're welcome.
So Antonio, go ahead.
So I like to try different apps to learn English. Um, Nowadays I am using the Busuu, Duolingo, Shutterbug, and others. But I think that depend of the language. In English, for example, I have a so difficult with the listening. That is the reason I like to do dictation. I use the news and level, the website news and level when have news with different levels. It's the word is very uh, direct. I put in the level one and I put the audio and I listen just the audio and trying to write. After I see the text and correct these wrongs, the mistakes. And also I used to listen podcasts, watch videos in YouTube. I love the YouTube. The YouTube is my in my heart. Help me a lot with different questions in language, uh, in the culture or in the grammar. I like to use the YouTube and read different books in the language. But now I'm not reading nothing, but I like to improve my vocabulary with the reading. And I think that's it.
Okay, you said about some apps too, right? At the beginning of your answer. So can you put there on the chat too for me?
Okay.
I will say, guys, what you're saying, I will just put in the Google everything after the immersion. I learn a lot with you guys. So everything that you're saying, I'm putting the Google, I put, so always are researching and learning with you guys. So, Brenne, your turn.
Um, Nowadays, there are two of the resources I use most. TNT, of course, and ChatGPT. ChatGPT is very helpful because an app that exists out of here, ChatGPT can do the same and in a better level, because it understands context and it talks to me and it teaches me and anything that I've asked for. So ChatGPT and TNT when I am learning actively, because talking about English, I have a lot of contact with the language, consuming movies and music, but I'm not, actively trying to improve my English. So when I'm doing that, I go to ChatGPT and hear the emotions.
Yeah, there are one EA IA yeah IA. There are one IA that I use a lot, and I believe for me it's better than ChatGPT. That is Perplexity, because you can just choose if you want to it's everything free, okay? Of course, you can improve paying, but this part I'm not seeing inside ChatGPT, and I saw on the Perplexity that you can search, you can choose the place the IA are using to answer your question. So if you want to the IA to create, you can choose it. If you want to just normal websites, you choose it. Or if you want to use academic places like artigos científicos, you can choose just answer with these things, like with articles. You can choose what basis do you want to use to answer your question. So I really like the perplexity.
Very
I don't.
interesting. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I
search it.
yeah. I put the link in the chat. I really like that one. I It's not so different from ChatGPT, but choosing the basis for me is really good. You know, it's interesting. So let me see. What are your favorite research for language learning? Guys, the conversation, I believe there are only two places that I learn a lot. Like as I said before, I learned English because I had to. It was not my choice or something like that. So I learned in a traditional course, It's not, oh my God. So I can't talk about it because it's not so interesting, it's not so cool. But nowadays, to training my speaking or listening, I really like to be here and talk, so I'm here. And the other things that for me it's helped me a lot, it's friends. And I'm not talking about this TV series. I'm talking about real friends. Like making um, friends, but with native speakers or something like that. Like because the accent is different. I'm not trying to talk in the same way as they talk, like the accents or something like that. But for me, trying the listening with different accents, it's really important. So I have a friend that I met in the carnival here in Rio, I believe like 3 years ago. And every time that I'm going to London or she's going to Brazil, we have to meet. And, talking in the accent of her is so difficult. But for me, it's like a challenge. So I like it. Or imagine talking to a guy from Texas, like the interior de Texas. So it's amazing, guys. You don't know what they are talking, so you have to training a lot your listening. I really love it. So I don't know. I like to when I'm traveling make new friends. So if I'm traveling to another country, I have to make one new friend because it's interesting for me and my language learning, my process. This girl from London, she speaks Japanese, English, Portuguese, Spanish, and I don't know if she speaks French, but my mind was, oh my God, it's so cool. Like, how? So I really love it, guys. Make new friends, but from another country. It doesn't matter if the person is from United States, just being in another country, that's enough. Of course, the accent is different from us, so that's enough. For me, the better one is making new friends. So let me see. Brene, can you read and answer the number three? Yeah, I saw when you realize it. So,
Yeah.
but it's not a problem. We can
Okay.
skip and return to the question. It's not a problem. So, can you read the number three?
Okay. What do you find most challenging about learning a new language? Um, my opinion, learning a new language, it is almost like developing a new personality, because the way you express yourself, the way you relate to someone, the way you say something, it's always different from what you're used to. So it's difficult. learning English, it's been very difficult because of it, because it's not just translating something from Portuguese to English. It's a new way to speak about something, and I think this is the most challenging thing in the learning process.
Really? Like I believe for me is the routine, guys. I don't have any problem with learning, with I have problem with me. Like I can't follow one routine, or I can't, every time I have to study, oh my God, that's make me crazy. I can't make like I don't know. I don't know why, but the routine for me is something that just kept me a lot. So, Antonio, what about you?
In the languages, it's difficult, it's challenging. Uh, in the case of the English, I think that's more difficult is the listen and understand. Listen what the other person say and understand because it's difficult understand what is a word, the phrase, what means, the context, understand the large of the language because the way that the other language expressing one idea is different in Portuguese. So understand the is a long process and it's very difficult. It's not impossible, of course, but just difficult uh, when you start to understand and use, and that is more challenge for me.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's a good one too. I believe the only thing for me that I can't accept is the people who just learn Spanish, the grammar, and after that saying the English it's hard one. Because like the grammar, the Spanish grammar is something like that, and the English grammar is something like that. So, like it's a poor grammar, totally. So Spanish is so big, and people who saying that English is difficult, like the grammar part, then Spanish, I can't. I believe it's the only thing. So, Victoria, go ahead.
Well, I think that what Brenner said about creating a new personality, I think it's very interesting because I use it to feel very frustrated because when I tried to speak English, I thought, well, I know that I could speak it way better in Portuguese. For example, in job interviews, in meetings at the job, I think, well, I feel like a child speaking. I don't have the words. I I don't know how to say in English, but I gaguejar a lot because I want to say to pass the message, but I use it to feel frustrated because I couldn't the way I would like to do. But as Antonio said, it's a process. I think I could put it in my mind and then that it's normal. Something I use it to feel as a barrier is being here. For example, I was feeling a little afraid of participating, took part in these conversations. But since the first time I've been here, I know it's a safe place, as you say. I feel okay. I know it's all right to make mistakes. It's a barrier I could already overcome. And but today, I think the most challenging thing is to have consistency, as Victoria said about a routine. Some I I I'm not very, how can I say, I don't focus every day. I do some activities one day and the other not. For example, I study vocabulary every day, but I should participate in conversations more to practice more and don't feel rusty. And I think that's it. Today, consistency is a little bit hard for me.
Yeah, you said about the part of, can't express yourself in another language, like the personality or something like that. I saw, I believe, a few weeks ago, one girl who is a Brazilian girl and live in United States some years, guys, years. His sisters are born in United States, so they are Americans, and uh, and she can't fight. It's not fight like argue, in English. She's English is amazing, like perfect, the accent, everything. But when you're in a situation that like your mind just explodes, you can't, think in a better way. She just starts to cry, and she lives there. I don't know, more than 10 years, more than 20 years. She goes to the United States. She was like a teen, you know and now I believe she's older than me nowadays. But she can't argue in English. She can, because it's another personality, it's another culture, and another way to talk to the people. It's totally different. So guys, I don't think more about it. I just accept my level, just it. Because if a people who live there this amount of time can't, why I have to be the best one and know how to do it in, like, I don't know how many times ago why I learned English. So why just me? I just accept. And if I have to argue with these people, I will argue in Portuguese. And if the people don't like it, let Portuguese to argue with me. That's it. I don't care. So it's the better way. So, Maria, your answer?
I don't understand which number
Number
is.
3.
So I skipped the.
No
Okay, I
problem.
skipped. I'm sorry, guys. I thought
No
before it was
problem.
number 4. Uh,
No
oh,
problem. I just put my thumbs up, so it's totally okay. I don't tell anything because we can go to another question, return. It's not a problem. The
I was
important
so
thing is
confused
framing the
right now.
English.
Oh my god.
No, the the,
Okay.
the, the purpose here is
Uh,
English. So if you're speaking English, it's okay.
let me see what I find most challenging about learning a new language. Um, I think is try. I don't know. Sometimes I'm trying to remember a word in English, and then I forget the translation in Portuguese. So that seems like my brain can't um, find the word in Portuguese, so then I can translate in my mind to English. When speaking, I think também, nossa senhora. I also think getting nervous really helps to mess things up, Um, I think that's it. And also, I don't know who said, Brenner said, I'm so smarter in my native language. And I remembered there's a show called Modern Family in which a character called Gloria, she is Colombian and she speaks English with her family. And there's a scene in which she says something like, "You don't know how hard it is for me to translate things in my mind before I speak," um, because she always has to translate things from Spanish to English to talk to her husband. And she says something like, "You have no idea how smart I am in my own language." And I think that really sums up all. I don't know. I think sometimes also, like, I have a different personality. In when I'm speaking other language, because there are some words in Portuguese that simply don't exist in other languages, and are, I don't know, it's like, ai, gente, português tem tipo molho, sabe? É um dicionário assim lindo demais. E sometimes in English there are ai, minha cabeça tá muito ruim. Tipo, sometimes the words in English don't seem to have the same effect and I don't know, dynamism, não sei. Tipo isso that they have in Portuguese, you know?
Yeah, like you said, I never seen this series before, but I believe I know what you're talking about, like it was so for me, like when I saw, like I was feeling the same way. I don't know, for it was hard when I saw it. I believe it's just saw it on Instagram. I never see the episode or something like that. So, but yeah, it's really interesting, and it was a good one. So, guys, we don't have a lot of time. So, people from YouTube, thank you for being here with us. I believe it was a good, really, really good conversation. Like, I wasn't expecting something like that. I was expecting something more easier, but the conversation was in another level sometimes, and I like it. So, guys, continuing watching us. There are more and more immersions in other language.